Donald Trump, if he is a racist, which I really don't believe he is, okay, the reason why I don't believe a racist because if anybody remember the '90s during Mike Tyson and Don King time and Trump Plaza, Atlantic City, like he was partying with us more than a little bit in AC when AC was popping. So I
Señoras y oyentes de USA la Media, estamos aquí de nuevo con su programa La Mesa Redonda. En el corazón de Barrio Hispano, en la ciudad del amor fraternal, les habla Fernando Méndez en compañía de Sheila Armstrong. Nile, Nile Jax is at the board, and we are in a conversation that all of a sudden we were engaged in a brief discussion with Sheila, and I said, you know what? I have to interview you. So that's why
yes,
we're sitting here.
that's why we sit here today.
Um,
Yes,
so it all began because we were talking about
yes,
the electability of the president, and
correct.
you think that he's going to get reelected.
Yes, I do believe that he's going to get reelected.
You're Republican.
I am a Republican.
Okay.
Okay, so yes,
So
so I am not biased on that. Okay, all
you're
right,
not. No, no, not
not
at all.
because I'm
No,
Republican. I'm not.
no, I'm sure.
But the reason what I see actually is the fact of, I like to talk to the people in the mindset of the people. Okay, and what made me feel as though why he's going to get reelected again is because one is a lot of people wait while some may agree that he do say off the wall crazy stuff, they do like what he's actually doing. They do like the fact that the economy is up. They do like the fact that our country is at the lowest of unemployment rate in ever. They do like the fact that our stocks is doing well. So with that being said, unfortunately, when we have where we had as for a country, some people have lost the moral values and they put the value of money over the morals of a person and the people. That's why you would see him get reelected because of the fact of people valued their money. They would. That's why I am seeing. That is what I'm hearing.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
that's
But
what they like. Also
oh,
you talk
I told you I
you
interviewed
yes
the president of Hispanics for Trump in
yes.
California. We were on the phone,
Hmm.
and I asked him, "What? You're a Hispanic. Why are you supporting Trump? After all he said about Mexicans and all that."
Yes.
And he said, "Well, he's good for my pocketbook."
Yes, and unfortunately, it's that's the truth of the matter because what it comes down to in this country, it comes back to the dollar. Okay, they don't see the value of people. I mean, we look at, and I'm getting off topic here, but when we have, it's a slogan, stop putting profit over people. Then that's because what we see companies laying off people because they try and meet their profit line and things of that nature. So when you have a country that for the past 40, 50 years put the value of the money up over the value of people up. And that's where you're going to see. So, yes, I do believe President Trump is going to get reelected, okay, because of what he is doing with the money. People know him as a businessman, and he's doing a good job with the economy. And that's what I'm a single mom. And I can, as a single mom, I'm an educated single mom, but let's just go for the single mom that may be a high school dropout or just may have high school. This is the best time for that single mom right now because of the fact that she can find a job anywhere. Everywhere somebody's hiring. This is like one of the best times I have seen in a long time where our economy has been thriving where anybody can really go get a job. If you want a job, if you really want to work, you can get a job. Now, to me, this is where we can see who's lazy or not.
Hmm.
And like, I told my son, he be like, Mom want to work, well go get a job. You know, like it's jobs out here.
Well,
This is
nobody
one of
can
them.
say you're lazy. Among other things, you're running for office.
Yes,
Huh?
I'm running for
What,
office.
what office are
Okay.
you seeking?
So I'm running for the second congressional district, okay, here in Philadelphia. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And the second congressional district, so you know, it starts at Center City and it goes all the way throughout North Philly and Northeast. So if you live in anywhere from Center City all the way up to the Northeast, anywhere along Broad Street, anywhere along Frankfurt Avenue, I am your
And who
congresswoman.
is the incumbent right now?
Oh, so I don't speak the incumbent's name because I'm a woman of faith and we was told not to give the enemies power. So but
Really?
yes. Okay. Yeah. So that's why in our home, in my house,
But
when I grow up, we wasn't allowed to say the devil or nothing like that
right.
because whenever you say his name, that's giving him power
But
and knowledge and
you
them.
think the
But my
incumbent is
the
the devil?
incumbent, no, I'm not comparing him
I
to
think
the
you would
devil.
be surprised to
It's
hear that.
no, I'm not comparing the incumbent to the devil. No, it's just the saying that don't give people power. The incumbent, I'm not running against the incumbent name is Brendan Boyle. I'm not running against the man. I don't know that man. He don't even come into my community. He just put an office the same day he put an office in my community at Broad and Gerard was the same day a new beer distributor opened up right down the street from his office. Okay, so that just told me he just want the people in my community to stay drunk. Okay, because no, honestly,
Well, no, it could be that he's also
no, in a
providing
one mile,
jobs.
no, in a one
No?
mile radius, we have four beer distributors in a 1 mile radius of his office.
Could it be
So
because it's accessible
no,
geographically?
no, it's not
No?
accessible geographically neither.
No?
Have you took?
Transportation is easier?
No, it's not
Highways
transportation.
nearby?
Nah, none of
No?
that. Nope. Mm-mm.
Yeah,
All
cheaper
right.
real estate?
Nah. I'm at Broad and Gerard.
Yeah,
That's no cheaper real estate. That's booming over there. That's
I
considered
know.
Northern Liberties and
Right.
everything. So it's definitely ain't
So,
cheaper.
so you must be rich if you're
Ex-
brought into right.
huh? Who?
You.
No, I'm not rich.
No?
I am a public housing resident. Okay, I am a public housing resident. My public house. I'm a Harrison Plaza. Is a public housing development that I live in, and it's located at 10th and Master Street. Okay, so this is why I fight for my community because for the past 20 years, okay, for 20 years I've been in my community. All right. And I tell people my story, my testimony. Unfortunately, I was involved in a domestic violence situation that left me damaged and I left me homeless. I went through woman against abuse shelter process, which is a 2 year process. Once I finished the shelter process, I got my home that I'm in now, my apartment, because that's what they help you with. I got my apartment that I'm in now. So I've been in North Philly for 20 years. I'm born and raised from West Philly. I'm a West Philly girl that is North Philly now. And I tell people, for 20 years, I've been in my community. I've always been an advocate in my community and fighting for my community for the past 20 years. And one thing that I always argued about, and it was so sad, but I thank God that we had another murder on my block. Okay. My block has been having a murder for the past 7 years on the same block. Okay. Same block, everything. I've been fighting about the lighting, just the street lights. If we just sit there and
Right.
had better street lights, it would deter the crime. For 7 years, this past summer, unfortunately, we had another young man, 19 years old, gunned down, shot 15 times on his doorsteps. Okay, because of that, now they finally gave us the lighting that we've been asking for. So when you see the changes in your community, when you see how the tax abatements that was given that was supposed to help us, when I go to RCO meetings in my community and hear all this development been done, but ain't no community benefit agreements, a CBA attached to all these, like our city gave away almost, if we talk about the tax abatement, I would say $1 billion. If you think about, we gave
Hmm.
away through the tax abatement
To
process
developers
to
mostly, right?
developers,
Yes.
yes, $1 billion, which is took away from our schools and stuff. And then not only did we give them tax abatements, but we didn't hold them accountable to do anything in that community. So
Yeah.
that's why my fire and where my passion comes from for fighting for the people. Because for 20 years, I've been living in a community that is a high
Hmm.
development area. They done changed the name because it was Richard Allen. Remember they was calling it
I
Richard
remember
Allen?
that.
Yes, it's no longer called Richard Allen. Now it's called Cambridge. and now it's called Northern Liberties.
Sounds fancier and they can charge more money. Yeah, right.
Exactly. So when you see these things in the community, and when you purposely, when as a single mother, I go to the community meetings, I stand up, I talk, I ask the questions, and you constantly get shot down over and over and over again. And then these is people that, and this is why I have a problem with, I tell people all the time, just because somebody look like me, just because they may be the same race as I, doesn't mean they have the same interests as us. And that's the difference, because unfortunately I tell people, not, you know I go to slavery. Everybody try to think with slavery it was just all white people.
Hmm.
That's not the truth. The truth of the matter with slavery, every culture had slavery. It was blacks selling blacks too in slavery. We have to know the history. You have to know, when you know your history and you know the knowledge of our country and stuff. Is so a lot of stuff I don't argue with. I don't, because I already know. So when you see things in your community that, and the people that's supposed to be fighting for your community, fighting for, I always look at them as public servants. They politicians. We have politicians in office now. They are not public servants.
Well, you're a good politician because you have taken me from the main topic that we were supposed to discuss to talk about your issues, which is okay.
Okay.
Uh,
Yes.
but you mentioned violence and
Yes.
guns in your neighborhood,
Yes.
and that's one of my pet issues.
Mhm.
Also, I like to discuss that.
Yes.
Um, so, are you in favor of gun control?
I am in favor of gun control, and I'm in favor of common sense laws.
Hmm.
Okay, that's what I'm in favor of. All right, and I tell people, they be like, oh, like when I spoke with the NRA, the NRA didn't know I had a gun license. I'm a license to carry firearm.
Hmm.
I can license. I got a gun, and then I actually got 6 guns too. Okay, my thing is, it ain't just because I'm for common sense laws that sit there and show, like, we have the research, we have the knowledge. The government tracks everything. We know that. Okay, so we have the research that shows that a lot of the guns that is being bought through straw purchases is through the loopholes at the gun shows. Okay, because at the gun shows, when you do these gun shows and things of that, they give them guns right then and there.
Who needs
Okay.
those high-power rifles?
That's what
Right.
bothers me too. That's it. They're not in the military. So why do you need these? And they say for hunting. I don't know who they hunting and what kind of game they hunting. And then we talk about, see, and this is why I'm sometimes animal advocates get mad at me
Hmm.
because of the fact that I say y'all fight for more the animals than the people. That because of the fact of you, like, for instance, Michael Vick. Okay, that man went to jail for dog fighting, served his crime, served everything, came back, tried to sit there and do his life right, went back into the NFL. But regardless of what he might have did right, might have did wrong, and after he did his time, they still try to vilify him like he's some type of
Right.
criminal and stuff like that. That's the problem I have with our country. Okay, our country do not give people the freedom that they did their time. Leave them alone. They did their offenses. If they did their time, they paid their penalties, they paid their fees. Why are we still oppressing them from their civil rights?
Yeah, that brings the whole issue of the unfairness of the legal system.
Exactly.
White collar criminals who never see 1 minute
Exactly.
of jail. How many
Exactly.
people went to jail over the debacle of the 2008
Yes.
when everybody went broke?
Yep.
And how many
Exactly.
of them are in jail?
None of them.
No,
None of
no.
them.
Uh,
And they was in charge of the reason why we had the recession of 2008. And I even bring it back to a case of this year. Let's look at this college scam that's going on.
that's
With the
another one.
colleges and how these rich people lied with their kids and stuff like that. But we have a black mother that she all she did was lie about the address because of the different school districts, and she's sitting in jail. And this is in Georgia, and I put it on my Facebook page. I compared Laura, I think her name Laura Laughlin or something like that,
Hmm.
the rich lady and stuff like that, to the black single mother who, because her parents lived in a better school district, she used her parents' address, and the state where she would, they threw her in jail and everything because of this. Now this is the same thing. The two mothers. These are two mothers. just one white, one black, one rich, one poor that wanted the best for their child. And look how the system did it. You
Yeah.
know, so
Mm,
yeah, we
mm.
know this system as, and this is where we get back as an African American woman, black woman, all right, we think differently because of our experiences, our things that we see. You know, people be surprised that, you know, when I tell people, you think black people ain't supporting Donald Trump, but this past election in 2016, 4 million people, 4 million black people did vote for Donald Trump. You know, that's the actual number. So he actually have, he do. And then you see
Well,
here on the local
that's
level.
one of the topics I want to talk to you
Yes.
about. About the number of blacks and Hispanics and
Yes.
minorities who voted for Trump,
Yes.
and a lot of them, as I mentioned before, based on the pocketbook issues mostly,
Yes, the pocketbook
and
issue, and I like I explained to you before. I bring my mother up a lot, and I
mm,
talk to my mom a lot because for me, I like to talk to senior citizens and people that don't really follow government the way we follow
right.
government. Like me and you, we follow government. Like I don't know about you, but I get Google alerts on my phone for
Right.
different topics and stuff like
Well,
that.
that's I make
Yeah,
my
I just
issues
that's why I say
available.
I don't even wanna
So,
know what you do.
but
But
you said you spoke
yes,
to a taxi driver.
I
Yeah.
spoke to a taxi driver just last night. Okay, I
Mm.
had it, and you know, and I asked him, what do you feel about this impeachment stuff? He said, "Oh, it's all a bunch of crap." He said they do the same thing in my country, okay? And he's from Albania.
Uh
This is
huh.
what he told me. I'm from Albania, and we do the prime ministers. We don't do that's what he said. Prime minister. This one prime minister. They always come out. Yeah, we're gonna put him in jail. We're gonna put him in jail. We're gonna. And he said you see him the next day, and they both sitting together eating lunch. You know. And he was like, he said, this is how this government is too here. They always arguing on TV, but the next day you see them sitting together eating lunch together. And I was like, yes, that's the problem with our government. Okay, they go on these medias and act like they the worst enemies and stuff like that. Then you catch them sitting down eating lunch together.
And yeah, that's one of the problems we have right now in this country. The two parties are really divided in Congress, in the
Yes,
Senate.
yes.
That's not an act. I mean, they're really
Well, this year, yes,
antagonistic right now.
yes,
No, nobody has ever seen a division like this.
it's very
But
partisan. Yes.
yeah, look, Sheila, you very skillfully took me in a roundabout way. But we'll come back and talk about the impeachment. That's
Okay.
the one thing I want to talk to you about,
Yes, we
and the
will.
election of this president, the re-election
The
of Donald
re-election.
Trump,
Yes, so we'll do that on
which
the
I don't
next one.
see happening, but you do.
I see it happening.
Ok,
All
señores
right.
oyentes, estamos aquí en Usa la Media, la mesa redonda. Les habla Fernando Méndez, Sheila Armstrong con nosotros, está Neil Jax at the board. Regresamos en un momento.
150 over 90.
180 over 111.
160 over 110. I had a stroke.
This is what high blood pressure looks like. You might not feel its symptoms, but the results from a stroke are far from invisible or silent. If you've come off your treatment plan, get back on it, or talk with your doctor to create an exercise, diet, and medication plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
If I would have followed a treatment plan, I would not be in this situation.
Our hearts are made stronger by how we treat others.
Put her there.
The light you share can impact those around you, but so can the darkness.
Later, twerps.
Did Pete saying mean things bother you?
So when you reach out to another person, take a moment to consider how they will feel and let your heart be the key to making a difference. Because of you, someone's entire day, year, or even life can change.
In every heart, there's hope.
Señores oyentes de Usa la Media, estamos aquí de nuevo con su programa La Mesa Redonda, en el corazón del barrio hispano en la ciudad del amor fraternal. Les habla Fernando Méndez en compañía de Sheila Armstrong y está Niall Jax on the board. Well, one of the main issues we want to talk about is Donald Trump, and we have a clip of a claim he made recently. So let's hear it, Niall. is Elon Musk. Yes, that's our president, who claims that there was an American inventor of the wheel. I'm sure the Mesopotamians are really upset right now. They're going to march on the White House to complain about this. Um,
I'm trying to see where
I,
Mesopotamia is at.
this
Where
is
is that at on the map?
this is this is our brilliant president who claims that he's a stable genius. The only thing he's a genius at is in manipulating things. So that's why you think he's going to get reelected.
Well, that's a bad clip.
That's the best. I have probably
I know you
100
got more.
Oh,
I know. So that's the beauty of and I say that's the gift of curse of media. Because whatever you say, once you say or once you post it and tweet it, it's out there.
I'm
You
gonna
know, it's
follow
out
him
there.
forever on
But
the
yes,
internet.
that's going to follow him everywhere. Like, how you going to sit there and protect the will? Like, yes, because if you ask the kids, the caveman did it. So this is a good laugh. But to get back to the topic of why I do believe that Donald Trump is going to be reelected, why I don't think he's going to be impeached. Well, first of all, like I said, I'd like to talk to people. When we talked about this impeachment process to a lot of people, a lot of people I talked to, they first of all they felt as though this impeachment process was a waste of our time and our government tax dollars. That is first it, because now we got to pay the people that actually work, that cleans the Capitol, that does everything. Now all these people have to get paid overtime, things of that nature. This is still our tax dollars at play. This is still my cigarette tax money, all the other money, FICA, whatever taxes we did. Something is playing a role in this. Okay, that's the first part. Secondly, when you look at this impeachment process and things that's going on and why some people think it's actually a charade is because of the fact that when they started the process last year, okay, they tried to make it like it was the most critical thing in the world. It have to be done and everything. And then what happened? Everything stopped. Nancy Pelosi just held on to the things and it didn't get over there. And then, like most average people, they didn't send the articles over to impeachment
that
to the
is the
Senate.
Republican
Wait a
line.
minute.
Come
no,
on, Sheila.
no. This ain't no Republican line. How about this?
That is.
This is not, because I'm going to say the reason why the articles of impeachment did not go over at that time because they did not want to mess up nobody's Christmas holiday.
Maybe, but I
No,
think
that's
that,
the reason why.
well,
That is when you talk to most average people, and because you talk to most average people, the reason why they did not want to start the impeachment process last year around the Christmas holiday time because it would mess up people plans. The politicians' plans around holiday time when they go away with their families and stuff like that. This is why they waited after the winter break so everybody could still have their vacations and their holidays and their good time to come back to work and then work on this impeachment after the winter break. But if this is all critical, if this is really necessary, as American people, we should not have no stagnant and anything. Okay, as soon as that the House process was over, it should have been turned over to the Senate and let's get this thing done. Because as American people, we have a right to not, if he's really as crooked as he is, because like I said, I have my own personal reasons why, and we're going to go through that. But at the end of the day, as American people who I represent and who I believe we deserve a right that if this man did everything, get him out. Let's go get him.
you know what?
But when they do stuff like
Do
that,
you know what Nancy Pelosi said the reason was for the delay?
because she wanted to make sure a fair trial.
She wanted to make sure that there will be a trial
It will be a trial.
and not a kangaroo court.
Right.
right?
Right. But then here we
You
go.
don't believe that's the
No,
truth?
I don't believe that is the truth neither. Because first of all, okay, if we look at the lines of government and what government does and with everything, I don't believe that is the truth because of the fact that, first of all, you're the House of Representatives and she is the Speaker of the House. How can the Speaker of the House dictate what the Senate does? These supposed to be two different lines of offices. You know, two different lines is the Senate and the House. This is why, and it's supposed to be a counteract of balance. Okay, so for that right there alone, me personally, I did not like that. Okay, as my personal opinion, she was, to me, that was outside of her duties to sit there and say what the Senate can and cannot do when you're not a senator. Okay, and then tell them how they should do. That's not right. That's like, I feel as though that'd be like Nancy Pelosi coming to Philly telling me how to run my house.
She
Like, you
could.
can't.
She
No,
could
she
come.
can't.
Yeah.
She
Why
can't
not?
come to my house and try to tell me how to run my house. So how you gonna go to the Senate and tell them how
No,
to run
it's
their
not.
house?
It's not.
So
Look,
I
Sheila.
know her. I
No.
know her position. I know people try to say the position and stuff like that. But no. But we want to get back to why I think about why Donald Trump is going to get reelected.
But look, the fact that she withheld
Mm-hmm.
the two articles of impeachment
Mm-hmm.
allowed more more truth to come out, m- more witnesses, more
No.
documents
Which
about.
tells me
Look,
that
Lev Parnas, for instance. What you don't you
I
don't
don't. I disagree with that because of the
you
fact
don't
of
think he's a
no,
legitimate
no.
witness?
I don't think no. The reason why, and this
He's
is
in the thick of it. He's one of the main characters in the whole
I
thing.
understand. I understand he's the main character of it and stuff like that. I understand what's going on, what they saying. No, the reason why I feel as though what you try to say, they tried to build their case. All right. I keep telling people, as an African American person, I look at the judicial and the law system differently because what we experience as African Americans in the law system. No, they didn't have a case. Y'all sat there and rushed this articles of impeachment, okay, to get these articles of impeachment going on, and y'all case wasn't strong enough. So you held these articles so you could build your case, okay, and stack the charges against him, so that way you can have all of that. But if your case was strong enough, you won't gotta sit there and hold your case. Let's go. Let's go. That's one thing I like. That's one thing I respected about Donald Trump when he said, all right, bet they got it, send them over so we can get this
Okay, so
stuff
you're
going.
complaining both ways. One that it was too fast, and another first that was
No,
too
I'm not
slow.
complaining that it's not too fast.
You just said that they rushed
No,
it.
they did. They
So
did rush it. That's their problem.
Either they rushed it or they
That's
were too
their
slow.
problem.
Which one?
No, it ain't no which one is. No, it's not which
I
one.
said they're too fast or too slow.
No, this is what it
You're
is.
complaining both ways.
It's not a complaint of both ways.
Yeah, you are.
No, it's not. So this is how. So this is why I'm telling
Either
you.
did they
The
rush it?
house. These is two. But
Did they
remember,
rush it?
the house.
The House rushed it.
The house rushed it.
What was the other part that was too slow?
The Senate.
The Senate.
Starting this impeachment process was the slow part.
But that was not
To
the
do
Senate
trial.
fault
To do the trial, because it all fell back on the house.
because the
It
House
all,
had.
it all falls
So
back
they're
on the house.
too fast
so that
and
tells
too
me,
slow at the same
so
time.
that tells me.
They cannot please you.
Well, they can't please
You like
themselves.
them.
It ain't about pleasing me. I need them to do the jobs that they supposed to do and get it done in a manner that's timely and effective, and where, as our American people, our tax dollars is not going to be wasted on this. Okay, that's why I looked at. They rushed the process. They hurried up to get this articles of impeachment. Okay, but then they had to pause because of the fact of. That's why they had to sit on them for a minute because their case wasn't strong enough. All right. And this is why I tell people, like, I see this all the time in civil courts. I see it in criminal courts. When the DA with our government or anybody goes up against a client or anything that they think that is supposed to be guilty, they always try to rush something and then hold off so they can build the case up and stuff like that. So that way they can build their case and make a case stronger to get now all these witnesses that you say they getting now, to get all these information documents.
Yes.
But why didn't they have all this stuff before they even started the process? This is when I'm
Because
talking
the
about a
president,
thorough and
the
effective.
president, and that's the reason for the other article, the second article,
The second or
about
the
obstruction of Congress.
obstruction of Congress. Yes,
Why-
that's
why?
the second one.
And that's
Okay?
why they don't have all the evidence they needed, because he obstructed. What? didn't he? Where are the documents? Where are the
Where's
witnesses?
the documents? Where's the witnesses?
He
Where
blocked them
is
all.
everybody? Okay.
Where is
He
Mick
did his
Mulvaney?
he did his job.
What is Mulvaney?
They're doing their job.
Mulvaney. Oh my God!
Wherever they are,
let's talk about
they
Mulvaney.
doing their job.
Let's talk about Mulvaney. Maybe now we'll find a clip of Mulvaney saying that is how we operate in the White House. That's how we do it. Quid pro quo. Is that how we run things in the White House? That's
Every
Mick
politician, listen, every politician in this, every politician in this city, I'll say it now. And if you don't believe me, any politician, I'll call them out on it. Every politician, every politician, every politician does quid pro quo. You cannot get nothing done in this city of Philadelphia without a quid pro quo. You cannot get nothing developed in Derek Clark's district without a quid pro quo. Okay, so because of this, Donald Trump did, now whether it was ethical or not, he did everything that every politician does on a local level, on a state level, and a federal level.
So you're
I bet you money.
You're
Now,
okay with it,
I-
with the fact that it was unethical, because it is. It was unethical
They
what
trying
he
to
did.
hold Donald Trump, but what about all these other legislators here? and stuff?
No. We're talking about Trump.
Because I
We're
know
talking
we talk
Trump.
about
Sheila,
Trump. I know.
Don't try to confuse
I know.
the issue right now.
I'm not trying
We're
to
talking
confuse
about
the
Trump
issue.
putting pressure on the president of Ukraine
To get
to do a
information.
favor for him.
Right.
Right? What was the favor?
To go do investigate. Yep,
Investigate
to do investigate Biden.
Why Biden?
Yep.
Because Biden was
The
the
person.
possible nominee of the Democratic
Right.
Party. He wanted to do damage to Biden. That's
Right,
it.
that's it.
You're okay with that?
No, I'm not okay with that.
But you just said it doesn't matter.
It does, because at the end of the day, when you look at our government system, and this is why people like me is standing up and saying this stuff is not right. This is why we're having this conversation.
But I'm
here.
worried about you now.
This is
You
what-
think that's ethical?
It's not ethical. This is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I want to be clear
It's
to
not
all the listeners.
acceptable.
I want to be clear to all the listeners and everybody that's watching the podcast, everyone. Okay, I am not saying that what he's doing is ethical. I'm okay with the not ethical. What I'm tired of, okay, what I want to use this process, okay, as the show, as what Donald Trump is doing is what every politician in the city of Philadelphia, the state of Pennsylvania, and across this United States is doing. Is quid pro quo. The reason why, this is why our communities look the way they are. They sell us out for somebody else that is bigger and better. Now, what he did was wrong. Yes, I'm not, if all the evidence come out, that's what did it, that's what it is. He got to be held accountable. I'm not that type of person to sit there. You got to be held accountable for whatever you done wrong, one way or another.
You think there was a quid pro quo?
Okay, I believe it was a quid pro quo.
Right.
I believe it is, just like all the contracts that they give within their family. How about nepotism within the government? How about the
How
hierarchy?
about
of,
Trump and nepotism? That's another one.
But it ain't just Trump and
His
nepotism.
daughter,
It's
his
not
son-in-law.
Trump and nepotism, though. Trump, see, the reason why I like Trump, because now what he is the light of everything.
You love Trump.
All right? We can use him, okay, to show what is wrong with our government system. Because people like me that has been doing grassroots organizing for 20 years saying, Lord, please help my community.
Right.
Okay, praying to my God every day, every night, because I got a body dropping every day in my community. Okay, it's a murder every day in North Philly. Every day is a murder in North Philly. We on day 20, day 23, we already got more murders. This is why, for me, this process, everything that we seeing, is a way to open and have conversations with people like my mother, people with the cab driver, people with everybody to sit there and say, look, okay, this is our government system. We recognize that it is wrong. Here am I. My name is Shelia Armstrong. I'm a congressional candidate that is going to promise to you, okay, I'm going to do everything in my will and my effort to help make it right, okay, because we as a people, we deserve better. Our founding fathers did not do this for us. We did this for our freedoms. We sat there and we came to America for freedom, however it was.
Mm-hmm.
And we are not free. My community is oppressed. And we are oppressed by this crooked government system right here. And this is what it is. And Donald Trump, he's just another politician out of the rest of them. Because I bet you anybody, any money, if you go in Northern Liberties, Cambridge, where we used to call Richard Island, okay, North Philly, if you go in any of them areas and you try to develop anything, you try to do a building, and if you try to do anything over $50,000, you're gonna have a meeting with your council person, and you're gonna have to make a deal too.
Right.
Okay, so this is why so no, I to understand the situation, the legality and stuff like that. We got to get to the truth, and if all the truth come out, he did it. Oh well, he got to be impeached. He got to go. Oh well, that's what it is. I'm not going to sit there and defend a guilty man, because nah.
Okay. No, well, that's good. I mean,
Yes.
we have you on record now. Saying
Yes.
You're not going to defend the quid pro quo, and you're not going to
No.
defend Donald Trump.
No.
And you're not in favor of quid pro
No.
quo.
I'm not in
Even
favor
though
of
you
quid
say
pro
every
quo.
politician does.
Every politician did it.
You're not going to do it. Though.
I'm not going to do
Okay,
it.
good.
Because at the
Now
end of
we
the
have
day,
you on
quid
the
pro-
record.
Yes.
Now,
You got me on the
Sheila
record.
Armstrong
Yes.
is never going to do quid pro quo.
No, we're going
Okay,
to come up with a
señores.
community plan. That's what I want to do. And we're going to come up with a community economic development plan where everybody can come up together.
Señores oyentes, we're going to take a short break. Vamos a tomar una breve pausa aquí en Usa la Media, la mesa redonda. Les habla Fernando Méndez, Sheila Armstrong with us, and Niall Jacks on the board. Regresamos en un momento.